Guys, welcome back to the 8th part of our seminar series on exit strategies. And today we're going to be talking about your next goal. And the tagline today is plan the next challenge. And what we want to talk about today is we've talked a lot about, okay, you've reached the finish line, you've got all the way to the end. You know, what do you do now? How do you maintain this? How do you give yourself a mental break without backsliding too much? How do you have healthy fluctuations? One of the most important things that we mentioned in a previous seminar series is when we said you can't continuously gain all the time. There's peaking that you have. You know, for instance, athletes in competitive sports, they don't play year-round. They peak at certain times, not only mentally but physically, and other times they need rest. But if they didn't play year after year after year, there wouldn't be new goals for them to set. There wouldn't be new things for them to challenge themselves for. And they have to continuously play new seasons, so they have new things to continuously challenge themselves at. So, one of the most important things for you to maintain your weight once you've gotten to your ideal, once you've reached the finish line, is to have a new goal, to have a new challenge. You can't just say, well, I've done that, now I'm just going to maintain the rest of my life. And the practice and the theory sounds great. It sounds good that, oh, okay, I'm going to go through healthy fluctuations, I'm going to stay within my target. But life happens, motivation slips, and if you don't have continuous new goals in mind, a lot of times before you know it, motivation has slipped so far that you get so far behind the 8 ball that you end up slipping to a point where you're not even close to where your goal may be. So what we continuously talk about is have challenges, have goals throughout the year, things that are going to challenge you, so that you're always setting yourself up for the next thing. You're always, you know, so in the beginning, I've seen it countless times where people in the beginning will start off and say, yeah, I want to lose 20 pounds, I want to get myself in shape, I thought this was perfect, I thought this was ideal. They go through maybe a slight period where they give themselves a break, a mental break, and then all of a sudden 2 months later, they start to get hungry. They start to literally like, what's next? What do I need to do next? That wasn't enough. That goal, I accomplished that. I thought that was everything. I thought that was the only thing. But you know what? I want to try something harder. You know, I just lost 30 pounds, or I just lost 50 pounds. I just cut my body fat in half. I want to try that marathon. Or I want to try, you know, the Warrior Dash. Or I want to do an ultra marathon. Or I want to do that triathlon. Or I want to get into playing competitive soccer. I want to get into a bodybuilding or physique competition. That's all raising the bar to the next level. And what that does, because if you just have a one goal in mind, you reach your goal, and I'm like, oh, I'm just going to maintain. The research shows that your likelihood of falling off is much greater. Where if you are giving yourself breaks throughout the year, but you always have a goal in mind, whether it's training for something, whether it's whatever it may be. If you're training for something, if you have a new goal in mind, if you're striving for something new, the motivation is going to be always stay at a peaked level, or the motivation will always come back. Motivation is the key, because that's what drives you to want to do something. And if you don't want to do it, you're going to drop back. So let's encourage you to always look at something new. Always look at something new and challenging. It doesn't have to be the same arena. It can be something different. It could be the same, but you're always looking for something different. You're always pushing yourself to a new goal. You're always wanting to try something else, and you're continuously going through a new challenge, using and implementing the same strategies we've talked about for the initial goal. It's just as you've accomplished this. You've accomplished this particular thing, your confidence, your self-esteem, it increases, and you start believing that you can do other things. And then you try the next goal. And once you accomplish that goal, you believe even more, I'm going to try this. The whole fact is you could have always done it, it's just now you believe you can. So you're pushing yourself. It's a way to improve yourself mentally. It's a way to improve your self-confidence. It's a way to you to buy into what you were intended to be all along, and for you to believe in who you really are. And most importantly, it keeps your motivation level high so you never get out of shape. So you're always looking for what's next. You're giving yourself that mental break. You're having healthy fluctuations, and then you're refocusing on what's new. And that's going to be different for everyone, but just always continually look for what's next. Look for the next challenging thing, because there's so many positive things that come out of it. Not only does it prevent you from slipping, but it gets you, and most importantly, to believe in who you really are and what you were intended to do as a person who is going to reign in life. So I hope that helps you today. I hope that was, I love this topic about finding your next challenge, because we never stop. We never stop learning. We never stop looking for excellence. And I appreciate you joining us today, and we'll cover our last two subjects in this exit strategy seminar.
When you feel that something's wrong, I'll shelter you and keep you warm. I'll never let you walk alone.